So now it's time, my friends, to introduce our speaker. 20 years ago at Circle, I met our speaker who was in search of finding her way in the world to infinite possibilities. And she continues to uncover the weighted, yet to be discovered truths for her own personal and spiritual growth. Her topic today is playing in the divine flow. She says, having the courage to say yes to spirit when every part of you wants to say no. She's a very expressive person, you know. And so today she invites you to say yes to spirit when every part of you wants to say no way, no how. She will invite you to open the portals that can take you on a journey to the golden central sun of oneness, back to the dawn of time. You will receive a vibrational and energetic reset where your heart can open to new possibilities, fresh perspectives, and new choices, regardless of your past experiences or evidence you have made your spiritual truth. She will share how you can feel the freedom and ease as you allow, embrace, honor, receive, and live in the space of divine unfolding and flow. She says, ultimately, it's about dancing with spirit and saying yes with authentic enthusiasm, celebration, joy, and anticipation. Yes, and anticipation. So our speaker, over the past 20 years, our speaker says she has developed a very deep, profound relationship with spirit and the etheric wisdom keepers. Various studies, initiations, and activations with living master teachers have been her mentors. And I believe that Yanni Maniatis is one of them we all know. Our speaker embodies a passionate energy that comes through as she accesses a path to universal wisdom in her channeling and her coaching and all the different modalities that she shares with others. Our speaker is certified in various healing modalities, including the Rising Star Healing System, spiritual mastery, meditation, visualization, and affirmative prayer. She says her world is full of lots of sunshine and many blessings. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to our speaker, Harmony. Yay!
Hi, everybody. It's good to be home. It's good to be home. I feel home with all of you. I feel the memories flooding in that help give a container to who I am and why I'm here and how I reflect to all of you who you are and why you are here. And it's just kind of humbling in this space of beautiful vibration with spirit to be in this place to be with all you this morning. I do my best in life to listen to the proddings of spirit, and frequently in my humanness it feels like it gets me into trouble, but I've made a choice to listen as much as I can and to act from that listening. It doesn't mean I do that 100%. It means it's my intent and how I approach my life. There was a quote that Yanni, I remember being with many of you in that basement and learning about our spiritual truths and cutting our teeth on so many different ways of being one with spirit. And the phrase that I took away was, cease trying to work things out with your mind, for it'll get you nowhere. Let your whole life be led by intuition and inspiration, new and fresh in each moment. And it's kind of like the little girl with the curl in her forehead, the old metaphor. When she's good, and when she's bad. And when I'm listening, it feels joyful and celebratory. And when I'm choosing to be separate and not one with spirit and not following the nudgings, it's kind of like spirit I hear going, so how's that working for you? I love you. Sarah Angel will hold the door open for you. We're here for you. But wow, you kind of made a choice to be separate here. And I can feel spirit saying, and I understand why. And I understand that it's part of being human, the journey, the choices, the decisions, the belief systems that keep us in making the choices that we make as to how in each moment we will in fact dance with spirit, and how that changes and morphs into for me, a collaboration, so that the word surrender becomes less of me giving up my personality and who I am, and instead gives me a pathway to be able to play in divine flow, to be one with spirit, to surrender how I think something should pan out, and to allow myself the space to be one with spirit and listening to the divine inspiration, and then taking the divine action. It's interesting because out of the blue, Ken appeared in my messenger, and he's like, come be a speaker at Circle. And I had been saying to people that I would love to go back into doing more channeling. It gives me joy. I personally love this space of being one with spirit, which is such a dichotomy, because when I'm not listening, I'm not one with it. So you think I would want to be in that flow like all the time. So he's like, come speak. And I could feel this dichotomy of, on the one hand, me, the human, is going, I'm not channeling anymore. I have nothing to say. What am I going to do? All the human chatter. And on the other hand, I can hear the divine going, but this is what you asked for. You asked for more opportunity to be who you be, and to express who you are, and to open yourself up as a channel for the messages that spirit wishes to bring forth. And so I'm on the fence. I'll do it. I won't do it. I'll do it. I won't do it. And then finally I just go, okay, I'm going to surrender to this. I'm going to get out of my own way. I'm going to allow myself to play in the flow. And then, there's like the little header that comes in the messenger. He goes, you have so much to offer so many people, and they need to hear your message now. And it's a game changer. That's what switches me into that place of, how may I be of service, and how may I let go of how I think it should look, and how can I simply be one in collaboration with spirit to bring forth, my particular gift is bring forth the messages that people may need to hear, or may challenge them, or may catalyze them, or may bring them into a different perspective. And it's not always easy being the human who is asked to deliver these messages of spirit. Sometimes, frequently, people don't really want to hear the messages that come from spirit. And being a Sagittarius, I can be more blunt, like, it's, hey, get on board here. And so it's been this dance with spirit over all these years, since I first sat in Yanni's basement taking the Mentor with the Masters course, where I first really learned how to work with what I call the etheric wisdom keepers, that blend of masters and angels and totems and animals that have continuously changed over the last 20 some years, but it showed me how to work with this team of amazing beings. And to this day, they're still a very vivid part of my life, as were those teachings. I didn't understand why the song got chosen until the song started playing. And then the beautiful introduction and the pieces that Reverend Susan kind of brought forth that I had remembered and hadn't remembered. And what started to come through was being welcome here, where here changes from being on this physical planet for me, being welcome here, being in a community, it's shifted to being welcome to playing in divine flow with spirit, to be feeling welcome, to be in this oneness with spirit, in this flow of here's an idea, how about some action? Here's an idea, how about some action? And being in that place with even greater joy and love of heart and an openness that, gee, I wonder what would be a curiosity if I did play in divine flow, if I did surrender, if I did put it in the container of being a dance with spirit, not where anybody is giving up something, but where they are actually even more full in the idea of when two or more are gathered in his, her name, what is actually possible. And that's one of the things, as so much has changed in my life, the effusive spirit of the possible for me still is one of the things that I still continue to come back to. And it for me is one of the things I have loved learning was about affirmative prayer. And that's part of the religious science or science of mind modality. And it's the idea that we really don't know what is in spirit's mind or heart or having for us. That from what I've seen, there's a phrase that says, from my lips to God's ears, which has never felt true. It feels like the opposite. It feels like it's from, quote unquote, God's lips, the expression, the awareness, the inspiration, the intuitive, into us as an awareness, not projecting outward, but allowing it to flow into us and permeating ourselves. And then how we can, in that moment, make a choice to say yes to the flow of spirit and allow it to become this amazing dance that basically comes from our recognition, our knowing, our embracing, our allowing of our own spiritual truth. And as I'm with it, it feels like the aspect of the spiritual truth is really what all the personal and spiritual growth is really about. It's an awareness now of a process where we are letting go of that which no longer serves us, so that we can be present to not only what serves us, but what brings us joy and what brings us into this collaboration and oneness with spirit, this dance with spirit, this ability to know that what we most want in our hearts is what spirit most wants for us. And sometimes that can be in a physical form of what we'd like to see in our life in terms of a relationship or terms of finances or all those beautiful things or joy or peace. And sometimes it's a soul's growth. And so as humans, it's really important for us to be in this open space of heart, to be willing to be one with spirit and listen and say yes, even and admit I'm afraid, I'm unsure, or like when spirit said, hey, your name is Pat Harmon. And so what you're going to do is you're going to add a Y to the end of your name. And basically I said to Spirit, bite me. There's no way I am going to be Harmony, because that's just, I'm not Harmony. And Spirit was, that's very cute. That's really very cute, but let's try this again. You're going to add a Y to your name. And the awareness of that was, oh, fine print. So everything within me and within the collective that is not in harmony is now up for healing, shifting, changing, transmuting, where the process of changing the name becomes a much larger process of not just how it serves me, but how it serves an entire collective. Because as one person in this journey makes a choice to embrace something, it is an action that ripples out and is impacting and shifting and changing the entire collective, which is part of this whole process of why we are here. So one of the things that I find important is, and I believe it's because there's no belief in this. Let's get real. This is an absolute truth that I know. It's Yanni's teaching 1,000,000% that when we can get out of our minds to try and understand something and go into our hearts, the understanding becomes not only easier, but it becomes a vibrational and energetic shift. And when we can shift on a vibrational scale, that's when we can use our mind then to do the maintenance and the fine tuning regarding our thoughts and what we believe and how we say yes. So what I'd love to do is to take us on a journey. And I invite in all the ascended masters and guides and angels and ancestors. I invite you to put out a welcome sign to be welcome here for your guides, for those that work with you and those that whisper in your ears and those that are having your best interests at heart, and to allow us to go into a space, into a journey where just perhaps we can let go of some of the things with ease just because we can, that no longer serve us, and bring us to the place of how it could be easier for us to say yes to Spirit, to playing in divine flow, to feeling and being welcome here on a much more expanded scale. So I'm going to ask you to take a few deep, relaxing, cleansing breaths. Close your eyes. Allow what has been to be. Allow whatever it took for you to get here in this day to drop. As you drop into the stillness and the silence and the feelings of love and peace, and just how much you are cherished, and just how much you are loved for having the courage to take a human form at this time, especially during this time, especially during this year. That there is such celebration and honoring of you as an infinite being, an infinite soul in a human form, working through so many pieces, so many moving pieces in order to know your spiritual truth, to know who you are, to know why it matters, to know why you being present on this planet is so important to a divine plan that is unfolding, that we can't see. But what we can do is we can offer our trust in something so much bigger than ourselves that we are a part of, and know that our place matters, and know that we matter, and know more than anything that we are loved beyond all measure. And so in this space, we asked all these unseen peeps, all these wisdom keepers, to embrace us with that love, that knowing, and allow us the space to know that whatever does not serve us, to dissolve them, to dissolve them, to dissolve them, to thank them for their service, and for the energies to go home to the light for milk and cookies. In particular, in this particular experience, journey, retreat, it's really all about the ancestors, the bloodlines, the soul lines, the lifelines, the ancestor lines, and all of the wounds and stories and misunderstandings and interpretations, and all of the conclusions and limitations and restrictions and judgments, and all of the beliefs and patterns, and all of the enmeshments and entanglements and projections and attachments, and all the core memories, cause and effect, and all the contracts and vows and tethers and containments, and all of the things that have been passed down to you, through you, by a lineage that goes back to the beginning of time. And in part, you have potentially taken this as your spiritual truth. You have taken this as your reason for living. You have taken this as what you think you should be doing on this planet at this time. And a few notes as we go deeper and deeper and eventually go back to the golden sun. What if everything that has ever happened and everything that has ever been said or thought on this planet has left the imprint on the walls of time and remains a part of the whole? What if the accumulated experience of the whole human race has created a collective field of thought and belief that is lodged in the subconscious of everyone and operates through everyone? Is part of the basic fiber that makes up humankind. What if spirit is not bound by precedent, and then so too we are not bound by the limitations of the past? And what if we are indeed a clear channel for expressing the newness and freshness of God and are free to grow and evolve without limit? Those were some thoughts by William Blake. And so as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, relaxing into the now, knowing that we are safe, relaxing into the morning and the safety of the moment. Imagine a time, a place, a situation where you felt the warmth of the sun upon your face. You felt it permeating every soul, every cell of your being. You felt it warming your soul, and you felt the warmth that you are deeply loved, and the warmth of also that anything is possible. As you feel into the warmth, the abundance, the love that is omnipresent right here, right now. Feel the warmth that is good, that is God, that is your life. Allow the golden light to flow around and through you as a cylinder 5 feet in all directions. Be here now. Be welcome here now, knowing that you are perfect and whole and complete and safe and loved and absolutely brilliant. Is there a journey partner who wishes to be with you now? A friend, an angel, an ascended master, perhaps a fairy or an ancestor, a loved one, a symbol, perhaps a beloved pet, or anything else that might come to heart that is your truth. And the ancestors who hold the secrets and the magic. And what if in this moment we return back to a symbol that some of us know, and those who don't will just kind of walk through it, the Prima Agni. It's the symbol of the fire of divine love. And imagine, like on the back of your back, you have a bra strap. Women know where it is, men know where it is. It's kind of unilateral. You bring a triangle down out to the outside of the hips and bring it in. You come back up to the top of that triangle and draw 9 thunderbolts all the way down to the ground. You come up to the top of your shoulders and you draw a heart. And the bottom of the heart embraces the top of the triangle, and you bring that thread all the way down into the earth, allowing you to be connected to this beautiful planet where everything can play out that is in the ethers in physical form. And you take your right hand and you bring it all the way across to your left, intersecting the bottom of the heart and the top of the triangle, and you hold your hands on your heart, and you take 3 deep breaths, and you allow the essence of this symbol to permeate your heart. And on the out breath, Prima Agni, fire of divine love. Taking another breath in, opening your heart more, exhaling, Prima Agni, fire of divine love. One more breath, one more exhale. Breathing out, letting go, letting go, letting go. Prima Agni, fire of divine love. Hand on your heart, opening your heart to greater love and acceptance, making it easier for collective consciousness to dissolve right here, right now, leaving us free to accept and love ourselves, others, circumstances, to dissolve. Knowing without a shadow of a doubt and absolute certainty that the collective consciousness and all the things we have talked about and those we haven't are dissolving, the memories are dissolving, the wounds are dissolving, the beliefs are dissolving, and in its place is wholeness, perfection, and completeness. And we go back, and we go back, and we go back, and you can feel and see the awareness of the golden sun, and you feel its warmth of soul and presence permeating every aspect of your being, and you let go and you drop into the stillness, the knowing, the love, your own spiritual truth, back to when the blueprint was created, back to who you are when you were originally created, back to the very beginning, knowing that you are safe, knowing that you are loved, letting go of every imprint, letting go, allowing, transmuting, remembering, oh yeah, remembering the truth, not the collective memory. Feeling the light, feeling the perfection, nothing to forgive, all is perfect and whole and complete right here, right now. And what if you could be free of all that programming? Zero connection or attachment to the collective consciousness that says it should be anything but love or peace. or abundance. Free to choose love, free to choose abundance, free to choose the celebration that is you, free to dance with spirit, free to play in divine flow, and the grinning starts and the heart opens and there's more grinning as you feel a joy that is so whole and complete, and it embraces you and it warms you and it invites you in and says, this is your spiritual truth. This is who you are. And you know it. And you know it without a shadow of a doubt. And in this moment, you know that the awareness of spirit coming into your soul, into your being, is there for you. And perhaps in this moment, you make a choice to listen. And perhaps in this moment, you choose to be with new choices, new perspectives, new options. Perhaps in each moment, when you hear the awareness and the nudging of spirit, you go, oh my, I wonder what would happen if I said yes. And in that moment, the yes starts to build with momentum and certainty. And now what is infused within every cell of you is an absolute knowing that it is so easy to say yes and that you are safe and protected. And it starts to become a practice. And the more you say yes, the more joy you feel. And the more joy you feel, the more you're inclined to say yes. And you see yourself in a place in your life where there is simply more joy because you are saying yes to yourself. You are saying yes to who you are. You are saying yes to what you most want to experience, have, do, be in this life as human, both spiritual and human, because the human loves the luxuriating of physical things that give us joy, but we also love being one with spirit and being in the etheric. So what if there was the ability in this moment to combine them all as one? And what if in this moment there is a gift given to you by yourself? That was the blueprint that says if you could have one totem, one touchstone, one piece, one symbol that comes to you right now that will help you to remember who you are and how joyous it is to say yes. Just perhaps the dance with spirit will change. And just perhaps the music in this dance you will just love. And just perhaps the moment where you want to say no, you will find yourself saying yes with ease. And as we are in this moment, in this oneness, in this space, held within this golden light, this golden warmth, we know we are ready to come back into the journey from the golden sun, coming back in with buoyancy and a spark to our step and an ability to feel a smiling within, and everything feels lighter and brighter. And as we come back in to the earth planet and your country and your state and your city and your street and the place where you are right now, in the room that you are in the body that you are in, be welcome here. You are welcome to you, to your spiritual truth, to who you are. Be welcome in that space. Revel in that space. Allow yourself the permission to love all the aspects of you and feel joy with that. Gone is the heaviness, and in its place is an unbelievable lightness of being. And there's a winking and a smiling and a bowing. And while it can be devotional, it can also be joyous dancing with spirit. Whatever your dance is, whatever your music is, whatever your playlist is, play it and make the choice to say yes and be one with spirit, and just see what kind of miracles can unfold. Spirit wishes to leave us with this quote by Beckwith, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. They're very funny this morning. And it's a tongue twister. I have to get a running start. So here it goes. When you stop believing in what you do see, and you start believing in what you don't see, then what you do see, you won't see, and what you don't see, you will see. Many, many, many blessings to all of you in this holiday season. May you know that you are loved beyond measure, and may whatever is on your heart feel lighter, knowing that you, when you turn to your spiritual truth and your oneness with spirit, that anything is possible. There are no limitations. There are no conclusions. And when you hold that space with spirit in an absolute truth and the absolute knowing and the absolute certainty of what is actually so, contrary to everything that you might see, that's truly when the miracles unfold. I wish for all of you miracles, and we open up the floor, the Zoom, to questions and answers.